she said I had talked to her for 2 hours, which was very unusual because, like I said, in high school I didn't talk to anybody, and especially girls. If I did talk to somebody, it was usually a guy because I was like on the soccer team, and of course, guys tend to befriend guys in high school and that kind of thing. Even though I didn't really befriend anyone, but I did. Never mind. But I was scared when I came to. I was totally afraid of what I had done the night before that I didn't remember. I was like, what? You know, like this could be a total nightmare. Like I was obviously, when she told me that I'd been talking to her for 2 hours, obviously I at that point I realized that I was out of my ordinary state of mind, and who knows what I did. And the thought, what scared me the most was the thought that I had basically had like a gangbang with the guys there, that I had given them blowjobs, like all of them, or that I had I don't remember if I thought specifically about anal sex at that point. I think it was mostly the blowjob. But I remember thinking that I was like, what if I gave them all blowjobs? And that was kind of an indication, I think, kind of for the first time, of what it was that I was afraid of coming out of me if I were to let this camera, the security camera, turn off for a while, which is basically what happened when I blacked out. That security camera got turned off, and I became someone else. And just to give you an example of what I mean, not besides talking to the girl for 2 hours, there was another girl who had been there, who I was talking to also, and I don't remember that either. She and I were. This is what she said. She said that she and I were sitting on the floor, kind of like I'm sitting now, just kind of cross-legged, Indian style. And she was sitting across from me, and we were talking about whatever. I don't know what. I don't remember if she told me. I don't think it mattered, because what ended up happening was that she had been smoking a cigarette, and me being in the state of mind I was in, I took the cigarette out of her hand, turned her hand over, and then put the cigarette out on the back of her hand, which is not something I would do, in a sober state of mind. And that kind of told me that, in this blacked out state of mind, that I don't even know who I am. When she told me that, I was totally shocked, and I could not believe it. I did believe it, just because I don't see any reason why she would lie to me. I don't see why she would make that up. I just felt like that was kind of what made me afraid, was just that thought that my sensor got turned off and I may have done some crazy shit. But that was when I was thinking, kind of what's like the worst that could happen. It was the performing sexually as a woman. And when I think there was I mentioned it in the how I came to the idea that I'm trans video also, that about the vision, I believe, when I was on Robitussin years later. This was after college, but I was young. I was probably 22, 23. I had the vision of the knot in wood, which, if you don't know what a knot in wood is, there's some wood right there with a knot in it that I'm pointing at. And I remember the vision telling me that I was holding on to something and it was preventing me from living life. That it was, you know, that I was attached to something. He didn't tell me what it was. But that life was going on without me. The river, the island in the river, where the lines that go around the knot, that was life. It was, you know, if you think of the knot as an island in a river, the river goes around the knot, and that was life. It was just going around me. And when I had that vision, the only thing I could think of, like I thought, what is it that I would be so afraid of? That I felt the need to kind of stay in this self-conscious, and I don't mean like conscious awareness. I mean like constantly monitoring yourself thing. I already forgot what I said. But yeah, the one thing that I thought of was that it had to be gender, because I remember thinking that that would be the worst. If I were to say, if you were to ask me what is the worst possible, if you were to let someone else control me, or if I were to let someone else control me and just give up control of myself, and what is the one thing that I would be afraid of them making me do? And for me, that would be being a woman, and specifically being a woman sexually, like being penetrated, giving blowjobs, that kind of thing. That when I had that vision, that was kind of where I was at when I saw that. I thought that that's the only thing I can think of that would. I mean, I'm not terrified of being seen as stupid. I'm not terrified of being seen as poor. I'm not terrified of being seen as, what else? Lazy. I mean, that being seen as a woman, I think that was the big fear. And I think that, like when I joined the army, like I mentioned before with my family, when I felt like it was not safe to be myself, and I didn't really know why. It was like that in the army. And in the army, I would say I had a better idea why. I mean, it was quite obvious that the army was, now I'm not talking about the entire army, but specifically where I was at, that it was not it was a very, I don't want to say it was transphobic, because that no one ever specifically said anything about woman's behavior. Like, I don't remember anybody putting down drag queens or trannies or anything like that. So to say that it was transphobic, I don't actually have proof of that. But it just came across as very, I mean, if I felt unsafe to be myself around my own family when I was in the army, that went from like a 2 to a 10, like that need to please people and that need to kind of monitor my behavior was just at an all-time high. I was like an enemy behind the lines almost. And actually, at one point while I was there, people used to joke that I was from the Army's Central Intelligence thing, where I guess the Army has this organization where they send basically spies out to Army units to kind of report back to the headquarters what's going on, and people thought that's what I was. They were joking that's what I was anyways. But I had just had my first homosexual experience when I joined the Army. Uh, I joined at 26, which was, so I was 18 when I was first attracted to a guy. So I joined at 26, which that means it was 8 years later. I was stationed in Hawaii, and I just left my girlfriend to join the Army, who I'd been dating a girl for years, and it was a very bad, it was an unhealthy environment. I wouldn't say it was an unhealthy relationship, but the fact that we were using drugs all the time, it just was not very good. I mean, my self-esteem took a nosedive during those 4 years. But when I got to Hawaii, I was not. I was okay in basic training. My anxiety was pretty bad, but when I got to Hawaii, I kind of felt like my nerve. I just kind of like lost my nerve. I felt like I don't know if I can take this. I don't know if I can deal with this. And then I had my first gay experience. A local Hawaiian. I was down at the beach. I had gotten separated. I'd gone to Waikiki with some guys from basic training when we got to Hawaii, because we were in the in-processing station, and while you're in processing, which takes, I don't know, about a week, 2 weeks. I don't remember what it was, but you have to go to formation in the mornings